All right, folks. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, so definitely want to recognize um, one of my frequent flyers here, Diaz Emirates. Hey, listen, nice having you. Nice for you to join us today. I got others that will be joining as well too. But Diaz, he's pretty loyal here. So thanks for joining, Diaz. We're gonna have a great flight here. So just for a breakdown for everyone to understand, this flight's gonna be from Dubai. It's going to be from Dubai to Kabul, Afghanistan. This is a humanitarian flight here. Not going for specifics in regards to that, but hey, Miss Jones as well too. Thank you for joining. This is going to be a good. This is going to be a good flight here. Jones, thanks again for seeing you there. Giving good shout out to you. So thanks for your support there, Jones. We're gonna kick this off, folks. Again, nothing in details in regards to this. Simply the fact that this is a humanitarian flight from Dubai to Kabul. A couple measures here we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through a couple preliminaries here. I want to talk about here on this flight here. Cautious folks, please let's not get too technical as far as the chats on based on topics we're hearing here on the media. Let's just keep that minimized there. But let's communicate as we normally do here on this chat on this venture to Kabul. It's going to be a 2.5 hour flight, folks, from Dubai to Kabul, Afghanistan. Expecting to see that, hey, folks may want to drop off and jump back on. Couple very important legs here. The start off here, the takeoff flight, initial takeoff from Dubai, climb, get to our cruise altitude, and then we're going to cruise on a pathway all the way to Afghanistan. Okay, um, through that flight here, we're going to be checking in continuously throughout this flight, this 2.5 hour flight. The last final approach descent into Afghanistan, folks. Keep in mind, this is going to be, seeing as though the territory that we're going over, it always has been for U.S. aircrafts, need to descend pretty rapidly when it comes to incoming airports and bases, what have you. So we may step outside of our norm as a normal descent. We may do a rapid descent, meaning that we're going to be at 32,000 feet and we're going to drop down to glide slope altitude to connect to our runway at a drastic descent, probably 5 to 6,000 feet per minute. We're going to descend. There's reasons for that. Protection is aircraft, one thing, all right? It eliminates the threat level as well too from RPGs, what have you as well too. So we're going to do a rapid descent when we get to that airport in Kabul. So just a little preliminary, just want to go over with everybody in regards to that. And that's where we are. That's how we're going to kick it off. That's how we're going to start. Let's look at, before we even get into this aircraft and before we even start looking around in regards to the technicality of this aircraft. Let's first look at, real quick, it's not going to take us long to do this. Let's look at our flight plan that we have scaled out from Dubai to Kabul. Okay, all right. So we're going to be, let's kick off the airport here at Dubai, and let's take a look at that for everybody's eyes first off as a starting point. We're here, as you see, dotted here on the apron area of the runway here. We're not, seeing as though this is, folks, a military aircraft, we're not going to be at the normal terminal with normal commercial flights. Seeing as this is military aircraft, we will be departing as such in a zone area where there's less traffic here in Dubai for our departure. Expecting departure based on winds today. The wind's going to be coming out of Dubai. The wind's going to be crossing at 100 degrees at 9 knots. So that's going to put us on runway 12 right for our departure. All right, 12 right, as you see right here, where my mouse is. We're going to be lining up 12 right for our departure there. Right now, I am monitoring air traffic to see if we are going to get any support in regards to air traffic controls. Right now, I don't see it. Hopefully, we do get air traffic controls that will be jumping on here and supporting us as far as our travels to Afghanistan this evening. That right there, folks, is preliminary as far as our takeoff from Dubai. When I take off from Dubai, folks, we're going to be climbing via day 4 SID here on our takeoff here. We're going to climb, crossing Estes, climbing Girgo, maximum 220 knots above 4,000 feet. Cross Delta Bravo 464 at above 7,000 feet. Continuing our path, turning left 328 degrees to Verbal waypoint, and then to our transition Davmo waypoint is where we're going to connect for our departure here, coming out of Dubai via runway 12 right. Okay, so that's the start off on our departure, folks. Then from our departure, we're going to then connect to Airways Mike 318. We're going to come out of Mike 318 at VOR Kilo Hotel Mike VOR. This is right on the island outside of Iran at that point. Okay, and then from there, we're going to then connect to Airways Mike 561. From 561, we're going to then connect to waypoint Pavon Airways Alpha 453. For Alpha 453, we're going to then come out of Airways 453 at, it's long airways, folks. Good. It's going to take us all the way through to Nolix. Okay, so it looks like it's going to literally get us all the way there. That airways there, that route airways is going to take us all the way to Nolix. We're going to stay on that airways all the way through Nolix, and then we're going to be arriving into Kabul, Afghanistan, via expecting runway 29 right for our arrival into Afghanistan. Let's get to Afghanistan and Kabul real quick and look at the airport on our arrival. Okay, as mentioned, folks, listen, we are going to do a rapid descent and to this runway. I'm going to ignore the procedures in regards to the descent altitude. Threat level is pretty high, folks. I think we're probably Bravo Alpha threat con right now. So we're going to do a rapid descent into Afghanistan and support this military aircraft. Okay, rapid descent is going to be again from level around 3,000 feet. We're going to do a rapid descent, probably crossing 6,000 feet per minute. We're going to descend to make entry into this runway 29 into Kabul, Afghanistan. Okay, into this airport. We're going to be arriving here, as you see right here on the scale here, into Kabul, okay, into runway 29, and we're probably going to turn off to the right, where the military aircraft is going to be stationary over to the right once we land in Kabul, Afghanistan, folks. So that's going to be our arrival into our airport into Kabul. Okay, winds we'll catch the weather and stuff as we get closer. The terrain is going to be pretty nice on this trip as well. So you're going to be seeing a lot of scenery too, as far as en route there to our arrival into Kabul, Afghanistan. Again, this flight's going to be 2.5 hours, folks. That is a preliminary overview as far as our flight plan from Dubai into Kabul, Afghanistan. All right. The very first thing I like to do through air traffic control, first off, folks, is let's go ahead and submit our flight plan in case air traffic control comes on board and do monitor us. Let's go ahead and drop our plan there so we don't get fussed at here on this trip. As a matter of fact, speaking of air traffic control, we have the pleasure of air traffic control actually monitoring our traffic. I see we got ground already stationed there at Dubai, monitoring traffic for Dubai. So we're going to be communicating with air traffic control then. So before I submit our flight plan, let's go ahead and at least get the aircraft started up here before we communicate with air traffic control there on ground in Dubai here. Okay, so folks, let's take a look externally, outside aircraft. Give folks a quick oversnap view of the C-17. Folks, it's a beautiful aircraft. I got a description as far as I got a description here on this session describing this aircraft in much more depth, much more detail. As you can see, we are in the cargo area of Dubai Airport. And again, purposes of the aircraft and this mission as well too, we are not going to be departing via the commercial area over there that you see across the runway. Okay, so that's a snapshot view of the airport here, of the aircraft here externally. Just to give you a quick sight here in regards to terminals and stuff. Here's a couple of views here in regards to how the Dubai airport looks. Let me get over here to you real quick and get a couple terminal shots here for you. Okay, there's a good terminal shot there of WC across the way from us. A lot of Emirates Airlines and stuff of that sort. So these aircrafts will be probably departing at the same time we're going to be departing. Hopefully we get a priority on our departure once we do get to our runway as far as priority for us. Getting launched, getting out of here, and getting on our way to Afghanistan. Okay, that's high priority. All right, so let's get back to our aircraft. Let's fire some things up, folks. Let's turn it on. Let's turn this aircraft on. Okay, let's connect our external systems as well too. Let's get that going. External systems shut on. We can hold off our generators. About to charge up our generators here very soon. Now, since we got power to the aircraft, we're going to go ahead and communicate with air traffic control. Now, since we do have the systems up and going here, we have external system already activated right now as far as external power. So let's we have all systems down here that should be active, as we see. Looking good. Everything's now fired up here. So we've got lower panel systems here as well too. We're also going to put our missile deterrent system on, which is we have our missile deterrent system right here, as you see. I'm not going to go into many details in regards to the missile threat deterrent system here that we have on this aircraft, but we're going to monitor here in case we get anything shot at us in our route to Kabul, Afghanistan. But we're going to be monitoring that based on this system radar that's going to be active during this time as well. Let's turn on our floodlights externally. Let's go ahead and let down our back hatch so we can start loading in. Actually, we're going to start loading in some items here. Allow it to automatically load in. Drop that down. Once we get into Kabul, Afghanistan, we're doing as such, as you all know, as far as the humanitarian effort here. Okay, so with that said, folks, let's get back into our cockpit. Let's go ahead and get air traffic control online with us. We're going to hear a lot of chatter here. It's going to be kicking on board here between me and air traffic control here very, very soon, very shortly here. So bear with us here. Let me go ahead and turn these systems on as well too. Let's see, turn these additional systems on here as well too. It's going to be our FMC that will be programmed. Takes a couple minutes to program. It doesn't take long to program the FMC. We already got our flight plan ready to go. Drop right into it, so we're going to be good to go with that. All right, so now let's go ahead and connect to air traffic control, and let's communicate with these guys here. All right, let me get our frequency set here. Air traffic control is going to be for ground. It's going to be 118.35. Hey, Julius. Hey, welcome. I'm glad to have you, Julius. Yeah, exactly right. Glad you joined us, Julius. Glad for the chat as well too. This is going to be a phenomenal flight here. It's going to be a great flight. Not sure if you heard earlier, but we will be descending when we get to Kabul, Afghanistan. A rapid descend to avoid any surface to ground missiles or any RPGs, what have you. So it's going to be a standard military decline when we get to Afghanistan, as far as a rapid decline into our runway for safe landing for this military aircraft. So thanks again, Julius, for joining. Thanks for the chat as well too. Welcome aboard. Okay, folks, let's communicate. Let's connect to ground here. Let's get this frequency going here, folks. Let's get ground on board with this. All right, it's gonna be 118. Frequency is gonna be 118.35, and here we go right there. Let's bring that over. Yeah, I think we got comms. We got comms in place. Let's do a radio check with ground. Let's see if radio check is. Let's see if ground is monitoring us. Hey, Dubai ground. This is Air Force 1979. Radio check. This is Air Force 1979.
Air Force 1979, Dubai ground, pass your message.
Roger, copy. I'll be sending you a flight plan here shortly. Stand by. All right, folks, let's go ahead and send that to air traffic control so we can get things going here, all right? So let's, all right, so let me tweak this. Let me put in our airport here. All right, so.
Ground, number 1967, person pushback.
Okay.
Number 1967, pushback, boost facing south on Quebec.
And we're gonna be.
Number 1967, couple left.
Cruise altitude is gonna be 21,000, folks. Initial climb, right? Plan 4, and let's submit a flight plan. Okay, there we go. And we should be getting a response back to give us clearance for our departure from ground. So stand by, folks. That should be coming here shortly. All right, we're fully fueled. I have 73,000 pounds of fuel loaded already. I got that already going for us, folks. Aircraft here. All right. Overhead panel here, folks. See exactly what setup is well too. Let's go ahead and shut up everything off until we get our clearance from air traffic control. So stand by on that. Clearance should be coming through here very shortly here. Let's fire up our APU, get that going now. Okay, APU started. All right, let's turn on some more panel lights, navigation lights. Let's turn our beacon light on as well too. Get all that turned on externally. Let's close our hatch that we have for loading. All right, let's close all this stuff up. We're ready to load up our flight plan, and start our taxi here once we get our clearance. Hopefully there's no amendments to it. And flight plans been submitted successfully. They're still reviewing it. We should get our approval here, hopefully very soon. But let's start programming our FMC now, folks, for our flight. Okay, open up our FMC. Here we go. Let's. We're going to be at Dubai Airport. Departing Dubai, heading to Kabul, Afghanistan, which is OAKB for the airport. Okay, let's put alternative airport as well too. UT. It should take about 5 minutes for us to get this here piece done. UTST is our alternative airport in case we need to get alternative airport on our arrival there. And let's paste our plan into our FMC. And right now here is what it shows right now in regards to the plan that got merged over. I'm going to delete this here. You guys see some errors here, and we're going to fix this here right now so we have a good plan in place here. I'm going to delete all this, and I'm going to start right here from our departure. So our departure, as mentioned, we're going to be expecting runway, let's go with 12 right for our departure, and the SID is going to be Davin 4G, 12 right for our SID for our departure, and let's save that. Let's make sure that went. Okay, and we have it all there. All looks good. Okay, stand by. Okay, taking a look at that, make sure everything looks good on that. Okay, everything looks well. And we're going to be connecting to DAFMO right there at the bottom, which is great. Okay, all right. So with that, let's go back to our route here, and let's start keying in our waypoints. So airways, Mike 318 is what we initially gonna connect to. Mike 318. Okay, let's go Mike 318 first airways, and that should be right there. We'll be coming out of 318 at VOR Kilo Hotel Mike. Kilo Hotel Mike for VOR departure. Okay, for VOR departure, we're then going to connect to our airways Mike 561. Mike 561 for our new airways. And from there, we're going to come out of Mike 561 at Pavon Waypoint. Okay, Pavon Waypoint. From Pavon Waypoint, we're going to then connect to airways Alpha 453. Let me, so I'm catching up with some chat here. So Julia said, well, fun fact, this plane literally took off from Dubai to Afghanistan. Hey, that's, wow. You know what? I kind of figured that they were going to have the closest area that they can get flights in and out of. That's expeditiously really quick in and out, which would normally be Dubai. So I can see that. That's interesting that you mentioned that, Julius. So yeah, that's interesting that we're actually connecting this flight right when they literally just made a deployment. Interesting. Yep, that's a good fun fact there. Not that I knew that in advance. Hint, hint. I did not, trust me. I did not know that was actually really going to happen right now, but apparently that is. Good fun fact there. All right, and then we're going to come out of this airways at NOLAX. So it's like we're blending with a true mission at this point here. All right, NOLAX, and then from NOLAX, okay, so we got our route fully all the way from okay, there.
Goodbye, ground, normal 1967, pushback complete, permission to taxi to actual runway.
Okay, folks, there we go. That was
our 1967 taxi via Papa 6, right on Papa, holding point November 2, runway 12 left.
That was our confirmation, folks. We got it. So we got our clearance. We got our clearance, which is cool. Good. All right, put in our final leg for our arrival. This is what I'm keying in right now, what you see I'm doing, and saving that. So I just programmed our FMC, folks. This is what I just did. I programmed our
November 19
computer.
67 taxi via Papa 6, right on Papa, holding point November 2, runway 12 left.
I just programmed our systems here, folks. We're ready to go.
November 1967, copy last, runway 12 left. Via Papa.
Okay. All right, so let's put on our altimeter, folks, for our aircraft here. Our altimeter here for our departure is going to be 0999 for our altimeter. Okay, 0999. We're all set there. FMC is already programmed. We're fully fueled. Let's fire it up here. Let's get it going. Let me look at our approval here as well, and make sure we have no amendments to our plan from air traffic control here. All right, so it's like a invalid route. Expect a full reroute as follows. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have a DAVMO. I'm looking at that there. We're not gonna allow this to hold us up. A DAVMO M318, which is good. Okay. Alpha 53539 peeps. Okay, perhaps. Please refile your plan and amend the route accordingly to your FMC. Okay, well, this is how we're going to do this, folks. Goodbye to you guys, and we are going to continue as forward. And we will reconnect once we get cruise altitude to air traffic control, who's monitoring center. So ground apparently doesn't have the flight plan that we have. Ours is extremely current as is right now. So we'll go ahead and shut down air traffic control. We'll get cruise altitude and reestablish what center air traffic control when we get there. So no hold up on our part, folks. Let's fire up these engines and let's get going. All right, overhead here. Let's see. Let's turn on our ignition number 1. We got the APUs already gone. We'll fire up these engines here. All right. We have no time for delay. We got to get going here. And we're going to turn on the fuel for engine number 1. Okay, and let's monitor our engines as they're turning up here as well as we turn them over. Okay. Diaz, we'll join back on to air traffic control once we get center. Let me get away from this ground guy. He apparently he must be a rookie here. He doesn't know what he's doing. So we got an official flight plan filed. It's a military aircraft taking a mission route, and he's kind of lost this. So we don't have time for that. All right. So anyhow, let's change our engines here so we can watch engines monitor as we are taking off here. Let's go ahead and fire up engine number 1. Pull our throttle here. And we got turnover on engine number 4, as you see. It's turning over now. Okay, it's a good start. Engine number 1 is a good start. All right, let's go ahead and put on our generator for engine number 1. And let's go ahead and turn on our packs as well, too. Okay, we're good there. We're going to shut off. We can go ahead and shut off our APU right now. No longer have that running. We can shut that down. And let's continue our steps to fire up our other engines here. Okay, engine number 3. All right, fuel, ignition, and engines are turning up for engine number 3. Okay, release. Good start up on engine number 3. All right, let's go engine number 2. Ignition. Let's go ahead and put some fuel. Full ignition, the starter switch there on engine number 2, and we got full power. Engine number 2 is turning up. Okay, good turn up for engine number 2. And final, we got engine number 1. Turn our ignition, engine number 1 up. Turn on the fuel for our ignition switch, and let's fire up. And sorry I had to give air traffic control the cold shoulder, but we got to get going, folks. All right, don't have time for all that. Let's get rolling. Okay, so we got full power for all engines here. We're gonna take a quick external look outside as well too. Quick view of these engines. All right, they are up and going, folks. We're gonna get a taxi pushback. Get us pushing started here, and let's call for a pushback.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
And we'll get her pushed back to this predominant area right here.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Okay, it's good. We got full power for all engines. FMC is fully programmed, fully fueled. Let's let our flaps down to see what degree level is that on the first level flaps. It's going to be, I think, 8 degrees. Flaps are going to be a little more, around 9 degrees flaps, which is good. Let's do a test as well too. Air brakes there. Okay, looks good. That looks good. Let's test them as well. We've got our tug connecting to us, about to push us back.
All right, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
See downtown as well too, as you can see from a distance there. Dubai here. As a matter of fact, folks, let me get my camera activated. Let's get our camera going on here as well too.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go ahead and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
All right, so we got our camera up and going here. Let's make this enjoyable, make it fun. Let's go ahead and release our brake lever here, folks, and let's get the pushback commence. Get started.
Here comes the pushback.
There we go. That's what we want. All right. All right. Folks, we are prepared for our taxi. We are ready to roll. Thanks for your patience and hanging in there. Yeah, I know I gotta bring the camera on board here. I realized I didn't have it on, so no worries. We're good to go now. Build more better interaction. So let me go around the horn here while we're pushing back here. Hey, Diaz, have you flown this little toy yet? The C-17. Do you have this here one, Diaz? Have you flown this aircraft yet? I do remember you've been on a couple missions with me previously on this, but not sure if you have it or not. Or any others that have experience flying this aircraft. We got a good pushback on that. So we'll line it up here shortly. We'll start our taxi. Okay, all right, that's okay. No, this aircraft. I'll be honest with you, for any of you who are interested in acquiring this aircraft, it's very technical, folks. You really have to stay on the controls because it can easily get out of your hands here and make your flight miserable. So you really have to be on point when you are setting your systems and what have you in support of your controls for your flight. Very important, folks. Yeah, just make sure if you do acquire it, be very patient with it. It's going to be a learning curve. All right, she's almost there. Such a powerful aircraft. Let me go and kill that window there for the FMC. Get that out of there. Okay.
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
All right, so let's go ahead and set the parking brake here, folks, and let's brake is on.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
I don't normally use this here much. This pop-up systems here. I just don't really use it often. So we probably won't be using this here today at all, but it's okay. It's fun to have. All right. So a couple things here that I want to go ahead and wrap up before we. Let me set up our V speeds and altitudes and all that fun jazz, all that good stuff here. Our airport runway departure is going to be, let's look at our heading here that we're going to go for our departure for our runway number.
And we're disconnected.
Right.
Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
All right, 12 right is going to be departing runway 12 at 119 degrees. So let's go ahead and make that heading to 119 degrees. Our tow already left, so we're going to go ahead and start moving here. 119 degrees on that. Okay, which is fine. That's good right there. Our initial altitude. No, we're not going to put initial altitude. Let's go ahead. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and put 10,000. So that 10,000, we're going to pick up speed at 10,000. And then we're going to continue the rest of our climb once we hit 10,000. Okay, so we'll keep it there. 10,000. That's cool right there. All right. What else we have here? In regards to our FMC, let's see. Let's go ahead and let's put on our GPS. Turn our GPS on. Flight directors is on. Let's do our vertical speed. Let's go up. We're going to be climbing 1,800 feet per minute on our initial climb there. Okay, we initiate autopilot and all that once we get stabilized on our departure there. We're going to monitor a nav 1 there. Hold. Let's go ahead and just put that on hold there and place this here to 118 for our initial climb, so we don't have to interfere with that. And then we'll activate nav 1 after we depart. But let's at least get our initial climb going on there, okay? And we'll click on autopilot and auto throttle as well too. Okay. So all right. So folks, let's. I think we're ready for our taxi. Let me change our frequency so there's. Well, we don't need to change our frequency. We already disconnected air traffic control anyway, so we're good. We don't need that guy right now. We need to monitor on what we need to do right here as far as mission to get out of here. All right. Let's turn the panels up as far as the lights and what have you. Okay. All right. We are ready for our taxi. Let's get comfortable and let's get rolling here. Let's release our parking brakes and let's get going here. Okay, park lever. Let's go ahead and release it. Let's give it some fuel, and let's get going. All right. There we go. All right, we're gonna be taking our left a little further up the way, right around here where you see my mouse at. We're gonna be crossing runway 12 left at November 4. We're gonna be crossing 12 left around November 4 onto Mike 5 Alpha, and then we're gonna be making a right-hand turn onto Mike. Left-hand turn on Lima 4. Left-hand turn on Mike 4 to line up our departure for 12 right. Okay, folks, that is our taxi to 12 right. Got a little traffic behind us too, as I noticed. Let's see here. Yeah, we do. low traffic behind us. No big deal there. It's all good. Let's go ahead and turn here on Papa 5 and continue the taxi again November again. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. You know, X-Plane is a lot of fun, man. You know, this is what's really cool about it, is that you can start your missions. You know, you can do all kinds of fun stuff with this X-Plane. You can just leisurely just fly, as you see. You know what I mean? It's a lot of joy. It's pretty addictive. Honestly, I really like it a lot. Yeah, I found a good love for this here system. I tell you, it's something else. We're gonna turn left right here, folks, on November 4. And from November 4, we're gonna go ahead and cross runway 12 left. Let's make sure that we are clear to cross that before we just do so. Make sure nothing's coming, and we're all clear there. No traffic coming. Let's go ahead and cross 12 left there. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and start looking at let's look at our runway now. Let's get let's fly on our 12 right. And there we go. That's what I want to see. That's the view I want to see right there. Just gonna be lining up here. As we line up, we're gonna put on our landing lights, our additional lights we're gonna put on as well too, strobe lights. And we are going to do our special full throttle takeoff. That's what most carrier flights do not do. I'll go ahead and show that as we depart this runway here. All right, here we go. Let's line her up. Let's get her set and ready for this departure first. All right, we'll throttle down our engines here, right here. Traffic is all clear. And we'll hold right here. We got an incoming flight in the opposite direction here, so let's allow that flight clear runway as we depart. All right. Let's do a quick cross check, folks, before we hit our throttles for departure. We are going to change this here module here to map. Good. And we're going to change this module here to our throttle controls. Now what we're going to do here, folks, is that we're going to give this 80% throttle right now, full brakes enabled. We'll release the brakes so you get a good kickoff run, and then at that time we're going to give it 100% throttle there so we can take off strong. Okay, and we're going to take off real strong here. There's a lot of power output behind this thing. Give you one more quick view there as far as go around. Okay, turn on our strobe lights, taxi lights, landing lights. All lights are now on. Preparation for our departure here. See our strobe lights stay flashing. Okay, let's go back in our cockpit here, and let's make it happen. I think we are all set, folks. Okay, we're gonna change our map over to. We'll change our map to our overlay for our departure map here as well too. Let's allow this Emirates Airlines double-decker to clear our runway so we can take off. Come on, guy, let's go. We gotta go. It's mission critical. Come on now. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. All right. Here we go. Brakes full. 75%. We'll go 75% for now. A little more, make it 80. Hold our brakes. As you see, let me show you how strong these brakes are, folks. I am 75% throttle, 80% throttle now. Brakes fully enabled here. Hold our brakes. Let's go ahead and let off our brakes, and she should give us. Here's our kick. And she is going 100%. Let's get out of here. There we go. That's it. That's the right way to pull this aircraft off. And trust me, she's loud. She is loud. Yeah, we got stranger danger in front of us. Ignore the incoming. That's that aircraft is ignored. That is the computer generated AI. Always ignore that. All right, so let's continue here. We're going to be pulling back here. Got it good. Come on, let's pull back now. Pull back the throttles. You're up. Just turn on autopilot. Autopilot's engaged. Make good climb. Give me 1 second, folks. Just let me monitor our speeds and stuff. Let me monitor, make sure that we are connected accordingly based on our GPS here. Let me make sure we're going to bank this left turn here very soon. Coming up. Should be right about now. Should be coming up right about now. There it is, there it is, there it is. All right, we're banking, it's automatic. All right, so we got autopilot is engaged. Good to go there. Good, thank goodness, it looks good. All right, let's go ahead and put on the auto throttle now. Let's kick that up. Let's relieve our flaps. Flaps 0%. Flaps are now going to 0%. Gonna pick up some speed here. There she is. You see the speed kicking up there. Pull up on our nose a little bit so she doesn't decline. There we go. Speed's picking up to about 250 knots. And there we go. We'll keep our climb up right now. We have it on nav 1, so we're going to go ahead and allow it to climb accordingly as what we have shown based on our settings right now. So right now it's 780 feet per minute. Right now crossing 2,700 feet. Let's get external look, folks. Let's get a look around and see our departure. So where's our airport? We totally took off from our airport and it's like way behind us already. So there it is in the midst there. Right there we see my cursor. It's our airport right there. You can barely see. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually, correction, right there. My cursor is here right behind us. Alright, so that is our climb out of Dubai. And we're banking now to left. We are autopilot again. Continue. Nose up. There we go. Our Our Mach speed went down to 220. That's set forth based on our plan here. So we'll keep the Mach at we keep the speed at 220 for now. Allow it to do its thing here, folks. Start pitching up here shortly. I know you guys see a decline. Ignore that. We're still going to continue our climb here very soon. Just keep an eye on it here. Okay, just pull up. Get our speeds up. There we go. Perfect. Let's get our speeds up to 250 knots here, which is appropriate. Still climbing, folks. Shut off our landing lights, taxi lights. Really nice aircraft here. Alright, we're going to start banking here to the left here. Alright, here we go. Let's return. Passing waypoint. Delta Bravo 464 heading to waypoint Kabul. And at this point, it seems as though we got air traffic control off our back, folks. With his strange idea about the flight plan not being right, I argue that we're going to go ahead and reactivate our connection, air traffic control, in hopes that we get someone who knows what we're talking about online for center. So we're connected again, folks, to the friendly skies there, and we'll be hopefully connected with air traffic control while we're en route here. Okay. Yeah, we're going to keep our plan as is, too, by the way, for the record, folks. All right. We're going to monitor. 122.8. Okay, good. Gonna be, folks. Yeah, I know. I hope we do have a safe landing. It's gonna be so interesting how this landing is gonna take place here. It's gonna be really interesting how we're gonna do this. Again, I want to wait until the last minute and do a rapid research. I'm sure we're gonna have a really good, nice landing. It's gonna be adrenaline rushing to make this landing. It's gonna be fun. That'd be fun. Climbing. Okay, Iran is literally, if you can see close enough, you can see Iran right cross the Gulf there. We're going to be crossing the Gulf here, and we're going to ride into Iran here. As you can see from the distance there, the mountains there, slightly see on the horizon from here. Right? Let's get back in here. I think we do got a good positive climb still, crossing 6,800 here, staying at 200 knots for a climb. Stage right now is showing for 7,000, top off. And then we'll be turning at the 012 degrees here shortly, and we're gonna climb further. So we're gonna hold at 7,000 feet for now, right now. And we should be banking here right now, actually. There we go. This aircraft is so big, every time you take a turn, you see you take a hit on your altitude here, and it drops, and then it climbs itself, so still a great aircraft, but you gotta be patient, very, very tough to handle this sometimes. Okay, so where are we at? We're at 7,000 here, folks. We're gonna still hold our 7,000 to cross DevMo. And let's look at our FMC to monitor that as well too. So we are at DevMo right here, and we're crossing DevMo and another 11 nautical miles, which would be 2 minutes from now, crossing. And let's put our altitude up close to 21,000, and let's start our climb. Let's put at 10,000 so we can pick up speed at 10,000. 10,000, we'll pick up speed, probably Mach. We're gonna go Mach 0.82 once we hit 10,000, okay? So there we go. Let's go up here. Good. We're all set. And now she should start climbing. There we go. We're good. This flight's not going to take long. Believe it or not, it's going to be quicker than we expect, honestly. Seeing as though it's only going to be 2.5 hours. That's give and take a lot of time on the run on the field as well too, which is always a guesstimate. But I think we already got probably a good hour behind us already. Okay, crossing 8,000. Leaving Dubai behind us there. Continue our climb. Let's pick up speed here. We're level off at 10,000. Speed up here. Go Mach 5.6 there. We'll continue our climb. Mach 5.6, continue our climb to altitude 210, and then we'll do step climbs from there. We're going to allow it to pick up speed before we start our vertical speed climb, vertical climb at 1,800 feet per minute. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and initiate that climb. There we go. Initiate it. We're going to go standard on our altimeter, 129.92. Across 14,000 feet, positive climb. Hey, Demons. So, question: do I like Boeing? Yeah, I actually like Boeing. I'm a big fan of Boeing. Um, as you probably know, this is also a product made by Boeing as well too. This C-17. Yeah, I actually like Boeing a lot. I fly Boeing a lot more than I actually fly Airbus. I'll be honest with you. I just acquired the Airbus 340. That you probably saw launched out there, Airbus 340-500. I just acquired that one. It was just launched by XPlane. So I got that one. Still, it's okay. It's a little pricey, but still Boeing. I still prefer Boeing over Airbus. It's just a preference. So, absolutely. And what about you, by the way? What's your preference then? Okay, good choice. Good choice, Denise. Yep. And there we go. So it brought down our vertical speed from 1,800 down to 1,000 feet per minute on our vertical climb here. And we're about to get into Iran here, crossing this the Gulf here. Altitude 210. Let's go ahead and get her up to Mach 3. And then we'll, I'm sorry, Mach 8.3. Sorry. And then we'll continue our climb. We'll continue our step climb. funny. You asked what is my favorite animal? Kind of funny you asked that. So I can honestly say, don't we know the saying that the dog is a man's best friend? So I gotta say, my favorite animal via pet would be my dog. Definitely gotta say my favorite for sure. Without a doubt, without a doubt. All right, let's get into our aircraft. Still picking up speed here. As you see, ground speed 391 knots. Climbing. Get up to Mach 0.83. Here we'll commence to continue our climb. Should be turning here in the next 6 miles. We got another turn we're going to be making here shortly. Hey, good choice there. It was a good choice. But I'm sure there'd be many different answers out there. Go. Our turn. We're joining. No, this is yes, we're gonna be soon joining Airways Alpha 453. From that Airways, we are going to continue that Airways all the way to Kabul. Right. Our next Airways, which will be 11 miles from now. Our next turn. Sorry, Demas, I was speaking with the mic shut off there. So, yeah, I definitely say, Demas, I definitely support you on that. Airbus is a great carrier, but I can honestly say I think Boeing brings a big package to the game here, folks. They've been around so long, too. Comes very strong to you. So, my favorite, honestly, I can say is Boeing. Unfortunately, Airbus makes a good flight. But again, Boeing is pretty dominating. Boeing is pretty dominating out there. Got to take it for what it is. I wouldn't be surprised that Boeing is rated in that extent, as you mentioned there, Demas, for sure. Yep. I definitely agree with you on that. we're at 480 knots at Mach 0.77, which we're gonna get up to Mach 0.83 as far as our cruise speed. And we're gonna start doing some step climbing at that. So yeah, this Demas. So yeah, that Airbus 380. So actually, I've already acquired that as well too. Have you acquired a 380 yet, Demas? Just curious. That is a fun aircraft. It's large. It's big. I can honestly say it's a fun. That's a fun flight for sure. We're at where are we at? Mach 0.8. Get up to Mach 0.83, and then we'll start that. So matter of fact, let's start our climb now. Let's go ahead and mark for 5. C-50. Let's climb at 1,000 feet per minute there. And there we go, we got it set. We are climbing. Oh, and yeah, that 380 is a big beast. Yeah, that definitely is a big beast, that 380 for sure. Agree with you on that one. Yeah, she's a big aircraft. Climbing out of pocket here, we're climbing up to 250 now. And then we'll maintain our cruise speed. Get it back up there again as well too. Get us there just a little quicker, folks. Hey Demas, hey, definitely want to ask you, have you had the experience of ground not accepting your flight plan, advising you that your plan is not within scope, is not correct? One thing that baffles me is that I have the latest AIRAC, the latest plans as well too. All mine is updated. So apparently his files are not updated accordingly to match it as a good plan. So I think sometimes when ground does that, a couple things here. They are either not up to speed on the most current plates or what have you, but I didn't want to argue with the guy. I have the latest and greatest as far as what plans are out there, or what legs, what flights, and procedures as well too. So not sure why he ended up saying that my plan wasn't a good plan. So didn't want to argue with them. I just went and canceled them out and continued our flight. So it is what it is. We are good. Okay, I noticed also we have another pilot that's right ahead of us, right in front of us, actually heading the same route that we're going to Kabul as well too. See if I can connect with that pilot, if he can hear us or not. Let's see. He's probably outside the area for me to reach him, but let's do a radio check and see if any pilots catch me. If at November 1967, my favorite plane, being it's hard to say. 747 freight. I'm using quite a bit. I really enjoy it. It's pretty fun. I don't know. I don't have an absolute favorite, I'll be honest with you. But I say 747 is more on top of my preferred flights, actually, the 747 freight airliner, which is enjoyable. It's a lot of power. I really like it a lot. So let's connect and see if we can connect to November 1967 there. See if he can hear us. Stand by. Let me, frequency's already set. Let me see if I could send him a private, but let me see if I can get him on frequency. November 1967. This is Air Force 1979. How do you copy? He may not be able to hear us because we're got a good distance between us here, so he may not be picking us up here. Nah, he didn't read us. Okay, so we'll put him off to the side. Set our altitude 290 so we keep that cruise going up there. Keep that step climb going up. So we're at 290. We're going to go hold it there. Right now we're climbing up to 290 via 1,000 feet per minute here, as far as our vertical speed there. once we get 290, we may go ahead and hold 290 for most of our travels here, from here to Kabul. I think that's a good altitude. We're not flying that far, so let's go ahead. I think we might hold it at 290 for the duration of the flight. Okay, so we're reaching our cruise altitude 290. We'll level off here, and that's where we will stay, folks. Should be for the remainder of the flight here as well, too. And allow us to get back up to our Mach speed of 0.3. Yeah, Demas. I can honestly say the 777 is I think one of the best finely tuned aircraft on sim. I think it is hands down. It's got to be manufactured to be the best software in which, you know, fly-by-wire, whole thing as far as the establishment of the FMC, all the bells and whistles, all your buttons, controls as far as how it handles the different elements. It seems to be almost perfect in my thoughts as far as how you can build a particular aircraft and software in support of XPlane to meet the standards as far as aircraft and stuff. So Boeing has considered that as a stamp of certified approval, which goes to show you that they put a lot behind that, showing it's a guarantee as far as its realistic capabilities, what have you. So I definitely say 777 is strong in that. I like it. It's a great aircraft. Hey, Demus, you said you you about to. So you like to sleep. You sound like you're about to go to bed here. Sounds like a little late on your side of the house, huh? Yeah, after this long flight. Well, it's not really a long flight, really, but after this here, it's gonna be rest time for me as well too. As a matter of fact, speaking of that, um, we should be 589 nautical miles before we get to our destination. So we're getting there, folks. One little step at a time here. Yeah, totally understood. Get that Z's, get that rest. Yeah, for sure. No problems there. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. Yeah, you're right. I actually like this much better. It's pretty cool. I like the conditions of being not in a preference here. Not being in anything too big, but something nice and cozy, and comfortable. Absolutely. Yep. So that's the way we're doing it. Another one. Hey, listen, my favorite, I would say, I love those Reese's. I love that peanut butter and chocolate. So I gotta say that's gotta be my favorite for sure. Reese's gotta be my favorite. Try to stay away from not having too many sweets, such as candies and that sort. But you gotta have that downtime where you can enjoy something nice and sweet. So absolutely, I would definitely say Reese's got to be like my favorite for sure, without a doubt. Primarily because of that peanut butter. It's a catcher for me. I really banked we just banked another turn. What's that? We just crossed, it's that, Zulu Delta November BOR. And we should be hitting Pivon. Cross Pivon here soon. All right, make another brief turn here. Go and towards that. That was Gather. You'll Gather. Waypoint we just crossed. So, heading direct to Ogogo waypoint, which is still within our airways of Alpha 453 airways that we're still in. right, folks, let's do a quick position report right now. All right, right now we're going to be crossing the Gander waypoint, another 43 nautical miles here. Let's take a look at our maps here so we can get a good bird's eye view as far as where we are, where we're located. All right, so here we are, folks. We are into our travel zone. This waypoint right here, what's this road? That is actually, what is that? That's Kandahar. It's Kandahar, right? We'll cross the Kandahar right here at the road, and then we're gonna be turning our left. Then at that point, preparing for that arrival into coming along here, folks. Coming along here. Cruising right now, altitude 290. We got it set for Mach 0.83. Right now we're cruising at Mach point. Actually, at Mach 0.76, we're increasing the speed here slowly but gently up to 0.83 for to reach that top of the speed. We're going to maintain at this altitude 290 for the duration of flight. We're not going to climb anymore from here. So, folks, that's where we are right now. We got another 426 nautical miles before we get to our to get to Kabul. In regards to our destination airport, let's see what the what's the weather there for our arrival. It's our destination airport here, folks. We're talking about so we got winds. It's going to be out of variable winds, actually, 3 knots. So we're going to continue as planned already as far as our arrival runway being runway 29 here. Variable winds at 3 knots. So that's calm winds. We're good to go there. No issues with that. A few scattered clouds as well too. Around about 15,000 feet. All right, so that's it for our quick check-in here, folks, as far as our position report and everything else. So continue cruising as we are and continue climbing up our speeds up to Mach 0.83. Hey, welcome on board. Welcome on board, James. Glad to have you. You want to be here for a few minutes? Hey, listen, glad you joined anyway. As you can see, this is a humanitarian mission flight that we have here going on today with the C-17. Yeah, needless to say, not much explanation on that as far as what we see what's going on in the news these days, right? Traveling this here trip from Dubai to Kabul to help out a little bit on the pickups. But anyhow, that's our mission today. Cool flight here for everyone to get experience of the C-17. Glad you're on board, James. Glad to see you. It's been a while. Hope all's going well. Quick stab at show you where we are. It's on the map too. James, here we are, right in the middle of the pretty much a little ways there forward into our travels. But we're making good leads here, good strides, and flying this wonderful C-17. Glad to have you, James. Yeah, it's a big mess. Yeah. And I made that disclaimer from the very beginning of this mission flight too, for personnel who are chiming in here and there to kind of minimize, opinions and all that good stuff. So yeah, absolutely, we're keeping that as that for this mission. But I agree with you; it's an absolute mess. We will hopefully get some things here straightened up soon. So that's all we can say here, folks. I made some good scenery updates through Opro for XP for the region as well too on our arrival. What we're going to do as well, James, so you're aware. I know you're only going to be here for a few moments, but for our arrival, I'm sure you're aware of this too, James, that the military aircraft, certain regions, they have to do a rapid descend on arrivals for certain predominant areas. We're going to exercise that as well too. We're going to go in at a pretty sharp, steep descent here. I'm going in into our runway for our arrival. We're going to be dropping, I would say probably around 5,000 feet per minute on our descent for our runway. We'll level off for our glide slope, of course, and get our speed down relatively fast. But we'll wait till we get closer to the airport before we get a good descent. Purposes of that, of course, we know ground and surface things that could happen on arrival in certain regions. So we have to kind of cut it short to make a sharp descent as we get closer to the airport. So that's how we're going to make our arrival and our approach to Kabul. But it's going to be fun flying, though. Oh, is that so? Okay. Yeah, interesting, huh? So sometimes they do a circling descent, even including a civilian aircraft. Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was like kind of straight angle, sharp descent. But that what you said makes a whole lot more sense, though. That makes a whole lot more sense, James. How you put it there, as far as that circle descent. Yep. You're the expert. You should know more than most, so I definitely take that. I'll probably look into that circle descent too, and try to see how that's conducted and how that's orchestrated and how they handle that. Unfortunately, I don't think we're not going to have any. We may not have any air traffic control over Kabul. It would be great if we did, though. That would exercise that type of arrival via vectors, what have you. So that would be great. But I don't think anybody on VATSIM has stepped up to that caliber. Yep. And it depends on what hostile equipment is in the area. Yep, that's it. Yeah, and that's yeah. So it kind of, I think, it kind of keeping you safe from particular areas there, James, which is good. Can't complain about that. But I can tell you that would be a heck of an experience, though. You know, that'd be a heck of an experience. I'm also interested in other aircraft, such as like Air Force One restricted airspace of 21 miles of restricted flight zones with Air Force One when it's arriving in certain areas. Those are good exercises, and I wish I can get familiar with seeing someone actually pull that off and how they restrict airspace for certain rivals, such as the Air Force One, right? But that's something I'm curious to see as far as air traffic control, how they handle those measures. Again, I don't think on XPlane anyone is taking those calibers to exercise those type of things, but very interesting and cool is to see if that can take place someday, you know. I don't know what's public or not, but I know it's restricted airspace of like 21 nautical miles from Air Force One, something like that, for their security airspace. So I think that is a good number. I'm not sure. Oh, you have flown over the region a lot. Sweet, sweet, nice. As you can see, it's not much to see, really. As you can tell from the viewing, of course. We see some greenery, very little greenery here and there, but we do see some. Gonna be crossing Kandahar here pretty soon as well. But you see the patches of green here, which I think is normal. We're gonna be passing Kandahar, going over Kandahar, which is the Perud waypoint here, as we see. As Kandahar is located, so we're not too far from that region, crossing Kandahar, and we may see more green there. Let me see what you're saying there. It says so at Emirates, it's circulated. Captain Joe has a good video on how to manually calculate. Oh, really? Okay, interesting. Huh? Okay. Take note of that for sure. Yeah, I do. Well, here it is. I do have, and I'm gonna show you what we have here as far as that. Let me see if I can kind of flip that out for you. Let me see if I can sneak that on the board here. You see show you what I have in regards to ortho. I do have some, but not right particularly here. But let me see if I can show you real quick here what I do have. Let me see. Let me show you. Okay, here we go. Let's show you our ortho here, James. Let you see exactly what we have set for that region as far as ortho. Here we go. So we are right about, I would say, right about in here, in which you can possibly see that line going across there. I think that line starts us coming, because we're going to Kandahar, which is right here where my mouse is, Kandahar, right? And looking at our map, and this is good stuff here, James. Looking at our map, we have Kandahar here that we're heading towards right there. So we got to be approximately, I would say, right about in here. So we're gonna start catching some of my plates here that I have set for the ortho right around. Actually, Kandahar is right here where my mouse is. It's not on the bottom, it's right here. So we're approximately right about here. I think this line that we see relatively may be correct here, entering the ortho plate here. Kandahar, we're about right in here. and that's where we're going to start seeing our orthos. So it's going to start making some good improvement here very soon here as far as that's concerned. And I think it's, like I said, maybe starting about right around here somewhere. So I'm excited to see what that is. It just, you know, it's so much data. Let me show you what I do have though. So we got Dubai, we captured Dubai, ortho kicking off here. But as far as ortho plates though, recognize, I killed the U.S. with it. Good gracious, look at that. I just flooded orthos. But in our region, I think we do have a good layer to cross once we get to Kandahar up to Kabul as far as our plates. I think we're coming along well. I think it'll look great. We'll see. Let's see how it looks when we get there. Right there is where it starts. Right there on my cursor. Sweet. So I'm anxious to see some of that real looking scenery, right? Starting. So we're really close to that. It's a good thing you brought that up, James. Good point. I'm glad you did. I totally forgot about my orthos that I set up for this. Good point, though. Hey, another thing, kind of interesting, James, I want to bring to your attention on our departure there, we had a flight plan that we established that we picked up here. You know, just keep in mind, I am following the current AIRAC as well too. So same AIRAC that Sim Brief has, I am current on that AIRAC. So that's my plan, was distributed from there. And ground controls told me that it was an invalid plan. So instead of me going back and forth with complaining with the guy, I just canceled it out and went forward with our current plan. So, but with that said, coming from ground, challenging me on our plan that we had on departure, I'll show you and amongst others here on this here session as well too, which may be a little helpful for the region of UAE. Here it is. Here it's coming up. Here's a guidance set forth for UAE, AIRAC 2108, with the departures as well too. Apparently that's not, I don't know, apparently may not be mapping out up to what the same AIRAC is, 2108, that's in VATSIM. I mean, that's in SimBrief. I'm gonna take a look at that in comparison, but wondering what's wrong, what's right. I'll figure it all out here shortly. Check it out, folks. So James, as what you mentioned, as far as our orthos are starting to appear right in front of us here. Hey, Mr. Porter, hey, what's going on? Hey, good shout out here to Mr. Porter here. Hey, nice seeing you too, bro. I'm glad you're able to jump on board here, get some flights in here. Got a really cool flight here to Kabul, Afghanistan, and I think we're a little more than halfway there. We're making good progress here. It's very interesting stuff going on. So glad to have you. Good shout out to you. James, hey, listen, check it out. Let's do it external here. do external here on this here. There we go. There's our start right there. Cool. There we go. Our images now are going to be. I think these images are captured from. I think a geospatial, something like that. I don't know, but it's satellite images of actual real terrain. Now it's kicking on board here that we'll see for the duration of the flight, which is going to be good. Let's see, James, you said last time you flew over to UAE, you saw a KC-135 strand tanker. Granted, we were 6,000 feet apart. Wow. Wow. Yeah, James, give a strong shout out to Mr. Porter here. He's I guess you could say, I got to put that title brother there on that one. So I'm glad you're able to join. Yeah. Now look at the terrain here. That's a real look there. That's a real look visual on that. So James, yeah, just weird how flight these plans here aren't adding up with certain regions that are so our ATCs are vertically, of course. As far as that view you saw of that strata tanker, wow, 6,000 feet apart. That's not too far. Hey, Demas, hey, welcome back, Demas. I think we're gonna start let me see how far off we are here. We have another 257 nautical miles. We're making some good length, folks. We're getting there. Here's Kandahar right in front of us at our nose here. Kandahar, which we'll be passing our next waypoint, which is going to be 50 nautical miles, which is straight ahead of us here. Got some good yeah, Porter, give for sure. They tell you something about this gentleman James here that we have on board. He's actually a real pilot, folks. Put out there. I'm gonna put your business out there, James. You know what you're talking about. This guy right here, folks. Listen and learn. When he's on board, he's a captain on board, so he gives us all the necessary answers to questions we have. So welcome to everyone, actually. So there you have it. Everyone is VIP. Bring our speed down a little bit here, folks. We can bring down to Mach 0.81, so it doesn't bust out as about as weird over speed here. That's the unique thing about the C-17. It's really strange, but we'll keep it at the Mach 0.81, and we'll hold our altitude at the 290 for this duration. So this travels here. Got a challenge ahead of us, though. Only a first officer. Hey, it is. I mean, that's there. So, you're the man. Overspeed. Yeah, this C-17 tends to. I don't know why that is, but it has a. It may be the software in itself, but it doesn't want you to go over a Mach 0.82. Really strange. Start getting overspeed warnings and stuff like that. I think it might just be the software. Who knows? But it's okay. We're good to go on that. We'll keep it at Mach 0.81 for now for the duration again. Right now, everything's running smooth, folks. Everything's running smooth. I'm really excited about this arrival here into Kabul. I wanted to make a sharp, hard, steep dive for our arrival here. And trust me, I'm gonna get this one. It's gonna be a sharp one here, but it's gonna be cool on our arrival. That's where we are, folks. Get a quick aerial here while we're flying over some terrain now that finally has some orthros, so we can see some good true scenery here as far as our surroundings here. That's clear skies too. Right now, as we know, the true time hour right now is nighttime over the region. I just want to keep some daylight here so we can get a good visual and everything around us here. All right, James, you said if the 250 nautical miles is how far we are out, I'd start planning out descent and landing at Kabul. Yeah, you see, you personally, you like to be assessing all the threats and going through the descent briefing. Yep. Ah, good point there. Good point. Um, so those who are listening in here on that on that on that note there uh from our, from our, from from James is that we need to go ahead and proceed forward with plans. We should always get those plans in place, right? 250 nautical miles. That's a good thing to for me to keep an eye on too as well, James. We are now 226 nautical miles out at this point. So at this point, yes, let's go ahead and start doing that. Let's start planning it out. Let's look at our weather and see what our weather's like in Kabul here. Let's look at our Iraq or Kabul. We're looking at, as you can see here, winds are calm. We've got 3-knot winds, so we're expecting right now runway 29 for our arrival to Kabul. Let's take a look at that airport. Let's get over to Kabul, take a look at it. Let's see what we have. All right, Kabul on the map here. We're going to do our planning here for our approach here. So it's not going to be, by the way, folks, there is no, picking our turn here. There are no actual stars. I'm sorry, there is a star on arrival there. Actually, there are no stars for the arrival of Kabul. So what we're going to do is that we're going to descend, catch our glide slope and going for a direct approach for runway 29. 29 is going to be the runway where we're going to be arriving in, folks, here. Let's check our procedures and our plates here as far as our arrival to 29. Let's see. General information here, as we see. What we're going to do is see from runway heading 11,500 runway head. Okay, so here's so we got a good long length on the runway. The runway is 11,520 feet, but as we know, this C-17 can land on very short runways, which is benefit this aircraft here. But we got plenty runway for our arrival there. We're arriving via runway 29 right here, as you can see. We're gonna do an ILS approach, runway 29. Catch our glide slope at Hingle, right here at Hingle at 9,800 feet. So I will be sure that we will be at this altitude here so we can catch our glide slope for runway 29 for arrival from Kabul. We'll I don't know, we may, yeah, let's I want to plan to be at Lilo at and around 11,000 so that we can actually get our speed down before we get to that glide slope at Hingle. So I might be, well, how about this? I'll make sure at Web row right there, that we're at 14,000. I'll be sure of that. Trust me, we'll get it there for sure, without a doubt. No matter what our altitude is. So that's our plans for our arrival, folks. Amount of fuel on board. We got 17,000 pounds of fuel on board, so we're good. Good with that as well. Hey, James is wondering, have you seen anyone flew this here C-17? Porter, yeah, Porter, yeah. This is cool stuff. I mean, I know this is kind of like heavy, but it is heavy stuff. Porter, listen, it took me a few years to just get to this point of kind of think I know what I'm talking about, right? But there's so much to learn here in aviation, flying. I tell you, it's remarkable stuff. But it's good. It's a passion. I love it. let me look down a couple things at our instruments and things of that sort. So we had this this radar detection thing for threats as well too. We have turned on here. This is the radar missile detection system, I believe. James said, "Yep, one of my buddies flies C-17. That's too much plane for me." Whatever. You get the real deal here. Come on now. This is not that. This is not bad. You're way much ahead of us on the rest of this stuff. So I don't want to hear that, there, James. But this is you know, I haven't used this air defense stuff here as far as the flares and stuff like that yet. But I don't know. It should be automatic too. As far as I do have it turned on, so it would be cool to see some of that stuff deploy, right? And I did check to see that the software does enable the flare system deployment for this here to be set. I've never used it before. So I don't know, maybe someone will shoot a missile at me. We'll see what happens, see if it automatically starts going off on us. But anyhow, that's where we are. That's where we are. We're going to remain on frequency 122.8 for now until we get hopefully we get air traffic control online here for our arrival. Let's look at something here. I also want to be at the standard frequency. I mean standard squawk. Let's see. I want to get our squawk over. I always like keeping that 200 here for our squawk. Always keep that there. For our transponder there. Let's go ahead and let's get back over to our frequency there, 122.8. We're going to start programming nav 1, 2. As a matter of fact, that's part of our plan into our arrival too. Let's go ahead and set that frequency for the ILS approach as well too. Let's get it set for what we got. We got our frequency for our ILS approach is going to be for localizers 110.5 at the approach degrees of 285 degrees. Let's go ahead and set that now as well too. It's federally, let's see, so let me see what you said, James. Fun fact, AL and all Israeli carriers have anti-missile systems on board and flares. Wow, I did not know that. It's fairly mandated. Interesting. I learned something new there. That's interesting. Wow. And what about that little round thing on top of commercial aircraft as well too? To my understanding, is that I've heard rumors that that's a commercial airlines that had that little round globe thing on top of the commercial airlines, that is a missile deterrent system on our commercial aircraft. Is that true? I've been reading a lot of stuff on that, what we have on our carrier flights out there. This little round tube thing is on top of our commercial aircraft. So what I heard rumors about that. Not sure if that's true fact or not. So you don't know what the system's in the title, but you say you do know it's required by law. Wow, that is cool. Wow, that's good stuff to know. But it goes to show you, folks, the threat is real. Threat is real. Threat is real, and that's truth being told right there. Okay, setting that frequency, folks, to our nav 1. Transfer that over so we're ready to go to nav 1. Pick up that localizer frequency of 110.50 on our localizer there, and our CRS for our approach angle for our degree is going to be 285 degrees on our approach. So let's get that set there, 285 degrees. We're all set there. We just got to switch it over to nav 1 on that approach so we can catch that glide slope on our arrival. Okay, 153 nautical miles before we get to our airport here. So let's we are getting here. Let's take a visual first. Let's see our terrain, man. I think the ortho looks pretty good. See some kind of grayed out areas in there, which is not blending too well, but for the most part, mountain terrains and all that captured pretty darn good on this one. Yeah, it's looking not bad at all. Yeah, we can deal with that. Here's we're about to get to the good part here, folks. 146 nautical miles more until we get there. Yeah, same here. Can't wait for the landing here as well. We got a low fuel indicator at 15,000 pounds of fuel. We're good to go. We'll keep that well. I think it's best we keep it light anyway. So 15,863 pounds of fuel. We got plenty of fuel on board, folks. We only got 142 nautical miles left. James said I have to see a picture of what we're talking about. Yeah, it's as a matter of fact, we got a little time here. Let me see if I can grab a picture for you here. Let me see if I can grab one here. Commercial airline, missile detection system. All right. Let me see it. I got it. I got it, James. I found it. I found it here. Let me show you here. The only dome I know on top of the commercial is the SATCOM. Okay, yeah, you're right. It's actually not at the top. You're right. That is the SATCOM. You're right. Here's. I'm gonna show you here. Right here on our screen. Right there. Did I? That's on some aircraft. As far as that missile deterrent system here. Interesting stuff, as you can see on my screen. Let me see what we have here. Yeah, there it is. See, and some commercial aircraft I know that I've heard of that actually has this here at the bottom of it as a deterrent. This is here we go. What's this? BAE Systems have it underneath as well too. So there's things out there. American Airlines has some kind of systems on the bottom for missile deterrent as well too. Very interesting devices, things that they had there. Most people wouldn't be aware of it or know what the heck it is, but here's another photo of another one here on a commercial airliner there at the bottom there. Again, I've never seen it in real life, but I heard its existence. So. James said, I've heard about it. I've flown with one underneath. You have flown with one underneath your aircraft. Okay, well, I think they're probably keeping all the specifics to themselves on that one. All right, that's good stuff there. 118 nautical miles, folks, before we get to our destination. Let's see. We want to be crossing Weebro at 14,000 feet, and we have some good distance ahead of us before we have to be at that altitude, so we'll maintain where we are. Let's say, James, the last one you've flown was the EL 747. No, I've never flown with one. Oh, okay, you never flown with one. Okay, got it. Well, they strap one onto your aircraft, and you know they send you somewhere where the threat is real. So, here we go, folks. Let's take another view outside, take another look around. Yeah, notice how terrain really changed up on us, right? Before we do our rapid descent here, which I need to figure out how to do the circle one here, circle descent here into the runways here for certain threat areas. I'm gonna learn that one. But anyhow, when we get this rapid descent one for our rival on this round here, before we do that, I'm gonna bring our speeds down to 250 knots before we do that descent there. Right now we're cruising at 496 knots right now. Well, let's just get that speed down before we drop as such. It's gonna be pretty rapid, so it's gonna be cool. Hopefully I won't have a miss and have to go around. We'll try to keep it solid here. So here we are on VATSIM. Here's our airport there. We actually got 5 arrivals coming into Kabul here. We is one of them. We are right there at our airport. Coming right up on. All right. Altimeter for arrival is going to be 2998. Altimeter. And I'll go ahead and set that as well too before we get our rapid descent going on. Biggest thing that I want to be very careful with is speed management, folks. As we're descending, I'm gonna have to just keep this thing slowed down as we're doing a hard descent. James, you said for now, so you've gotten a memo from the company to avoid Afghanistan airspace for the time being. Our flights will be routed around the country. Hey, very interesting you said that. Hey, so let me explain something too as well. On one of my flights when I was flying over, this is not simulation, but when I was arriving into Kuwait, flying over Iraq, is one of the evenings in which I noticed while I was sitting back, I woke up, I looked at the monitor, and I noticed that normally we go through Iraq to go into Kuwait, but they diverted our flight, and we went across the top level of Iraq, came down into Iran, came west back into Kuwait to totally avoid Iraq, and I couldn't understand why we had such a change in that flight. Well, lo and behold, when we landed, we got news that night while we were flying, that Obama issued airstrikes in Iraq. And that's the night when our flight got deviated. When we were normally go through Iraq, we went across the top level north of Iraq, came down Iran, came across the Gulf into Kuwait from the eastbound going west to avoid the that airstrike mission that Obama issued in Iraq while we were in flight that night. So that was very interesting that we were a part of that on our trip over to Kuwait. Very interesting stuff. 78 nautical miles, folks. What should we do? Let's see here. We have, let me add up my numbers here. 61 miles, 22, we got 88 miles. Top of descent is in 75 nautical miles. It's not to our destination. So I apologize for not mentioning that wrong. Top of our descent is in 74 nautical miles. So we'll make judgment calls around that time as to when we're going to descend. Yeah, James, that was freaky. I tell you, that was freaky. Because I've been in flights many times back and forth to that region, and I've never ever woke up and noticed that we were northern Iran turning to go into Iran when we were supposed to be going into Kuwait. So I woke up seeing that on the map, and I knew that couldn't have been right, but it was right. And come to find out, there was a reason why we rerouted that night. It was so strange, but it was a chilling to recognize that things were popping off that night while we were flying. That was real. That's real talk right there. That's something to go down in the books for me. So interesting stuff there. Yeah, they will communicate and divert when need be. Still cool stuff for me though. I like being part of the excitement, the craziness, right? But anyhow, that's something that I'd say was like wow, you know. And when we left, when I left Kuwait, it was we went across the Gulf into Iran, then went up north before we headed back here to the States. So top of the descent, folks. Where we at? 62 nautical miles. 61. Trying to see when we're gonna start this dive. Well, I'm not necessarily gonna be a dive, but it's gonna be a pretty sharp descent here that we're gonna make. It's Kabul. Which, yeah, we're getting really close, folks. Getting really close here. We're almost there. All right, this flight is almost, we're almost gonna be at our destination, folks. And then from here, you know, gotta check the news and see what's going on. But what's that called? What's that movie called? What's that movie called? World War Z? Oh my gosh. Do some things that happen today kind of remind you of that? That's real talk, folks. I was like, wow, wow, wow. It was crazy seeing some of the things I seen today. Do we have snow-capped mountains here? We got snow-capped mountains? Let me see. I don't know, maybe. So James said, who's your favorite special operations group? Mine is Delta. I'd have to say the 75th Ranger Regiment. You know what? You know what? Good question there. I can't really say, you know what I mean? Can't really say I have a favorite. I actually don't have a favorite, actually. You know, I think some of us can speak on some topics of us serving, right? Including me and others here online too. But you know, it's hard to say who I consider as a favorite or not. You know. So, well, hats off to all though. I tell you, hats off to everyone. You're talking about carriers. Oh, I'm thinking about you talking about our military forces here. So JetBlue? Oh my goodness, really? Why is that? Why JetBlue? Yeah, I thought you was talking about the military, James. I thought you were. Yeah. I just, that's a tough one there. That's a tough one. 75th Ranger Regiment. Yeah. Yeah, but I can't say that's yeah, that's my favorite. Like I said, there's everyone has their specialties. You know what I'm saying? That bring it to the table. They bring it regardless, right? So I don't know. It's a really tough one, man. Yeah, but I say this much: when you get in the category of special force units, what have you, they get some good special treatment. Now, of course, they well deserve it, right? Special comms, special, all that is handed to them on the planet. You know what I mean? To the point of recognize that there's always restrictions there as far as who can mingle, who can't mingle, especially when you're downrange, right? It's good stuff though. Gotta protect our own. So that there is snow cap. There, I think that is snow. I think that is snow on top of these hills here that we see as well. All right, we're making a turn here, folks. So where are we at? Let's look at where we're at on the map. Okay, here we are. We are at Weebo. We're gonna start this. We're gonna start descent now, folks. We're gonna go ahead and get her down. We are right over Tabla Airport, damn near almost. Start getting her down. Let's see something here. Let's. I want to hold off for. Let's hold off right now, and let's keep it. Let's not descend yet. I'm sorry, hold up. Let me set something here, folks. Hold on. Shut that off, shut that off. Get this back up here. Let's get this here back up to. I want to get it. Let's just get it back. Let's get it to 20. We'll get her down to. Get her down to 21. We'll hold at 21. How's that? We'll hold at 21. I think that's a good altitude to hold at for a little bit. Right there. Let's get her down to 21. We can hold it there. I think that's oh yeah, it could be possibly a cloud caught in the picture. Yup, from the that capture that ortho. Yep, sure. And it looks like it's part of the ground. This is not pretty. Look at that. Okay, maybe something I left out. That's part of that edge right there. But anyhow, we're gonna. Wow, look at that terrain. That terrain is great. That is nice. Wow. Yeah, that terrain is really nice. Okay, where we descend down to? We're down to 24, past 24, getting down to 21 there. We'll keep our speed at Mach 0.81 for now too. We have 39 nautical miles before we have to be at 14, huh? Okay, you see right here as far as where we're going to turn at. At Libro, 39 miles. Just got to strap on the gear here, get the seatbelt here, and let's get ready for this arrival here. All right. Time to put our game face on, folks. Hold at this 21. see Milo. Where's Milo at on the map? Let's look at Milo here real quick. Here. Just pull up Milo. Milo is right here. I might hit Milo. I might skip out and just meet Milo at 10,600. Let's target for that. Okay, let's hold at that 21,000. Our airport, we should have visual on our airport here really soon. James, thanks. Saying this is a great stream. Just came to stop by. See you all later. James, it's a pleasure having you. Always is. Thanks for dropping by. It is always great to have you here on board, so I really appreciate you. Take care, James, and we'll catch you on rebound. Wow, that's snow-capped mountains, folks. Look at that. That's for sure. We see that there. Yeah, that's snow for sure. You see that in the mountains. Okay. Yeah, that's all snow right there for sure. The altitude is so high. So we should be seeing our airport really soon, folks. We're going to do a dip and dive. That might be our airport right there at our 11 o'clock right there. That might be our airport. We're streaming across, folks. This is where things get hot. All right. Okay, we'll turn in here. Where do we turn in? Let me see. Look, we have the. Let's go ahead and dip, folks. Let's get down. We can drop our altitude now. Let's go ahead and dive. Let's get down to where we should be. All right. Target. Burst. We're going to drop 8,000 feet per minute right now. Here we go. Let's pull back on some throttles here, and let's slow it down. Okay, put up our flaps. We're going to do a dip dive here on our descent, which is going to be real rapid, folks. We're dip diving on our descent here. We're also going to bring our speed down like crazy. Let's bring it down to 180. We have a long ways to meet that though, but we really have to bring her down. Look how fast we're dropping, folks. And we're dropping hard. We're dropping I said 6,000. We're dropping 10,000 feet per minute right now. We're dropping 10,000 feet per minute, folks. This is a hell of a drop. Woo! Just crossing that mountain there too. There's our airport right ahead of us at the 12 o'clock. We're dropping 10,000 feet per minute here. We're getting her down, folks. We're getting it down to, let's see where we are. We got to get it down to 9,800. We're dropping hard. This is a hard drop, folks. When you hit 10,000 feet per minute, that is a serious drop. Get our speed down. Look how fast we got down here, folks, to our altitude here. This is sweet. This is butter, folks. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We dropped right into Kabul. Literally. Look at that. That was an extremely hard descent, folks, for the record. I pulled it off. Made it happen. I don't think I've ever actually dropped that hard before. Coming in. Okay, I have brakes on strong. Okay. And let's watch activity here, folks. All right, we're good. Let's bring her right about here. Okay, and now let's bring up our approach. What you call it's here? Let's change our nav 1. Nav 1 is activated. We activate our nav 1, folks. We are now gearing up towards our connection for our approach, ILS approach. We are on target for ILS approach. We're turning now for our airport. We're gonna drop our gear, bring up our flaps, pull up some, keep our speed up. Keep our speed up. Keep our speed up. Keep our speed up. The runway should be in front of us. There it is in front of us. Keep our speed up. Bring flaps down. Now bring our speed down a little bit here. Bring it down to, I think, let's go with 152. Then let's bring some more flaps up there. More flaps. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, let's turn off some of these systems here. Let's turn this off. Let's turn that off. Let's take it by controls. Take controls by hand, folks. We're gonna manually bring this in. Let's go. Let's manually bring her in. Let's just bring her in by hand here, folks. Bring her in by hand, folks. Here we go. Here we go. Gears down. All right, bring our speed down. Here we go. Turn her. Bring her up, bring her up, bring her up, bring her up. That's right. A little rough on the landing. Got her down. That's okay. We'll get that out of passing grade, folks. Hell, that was a crazy dive. Not centered, but we got her on board there. Slow it down. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Got our reverses going. Bring it down to 80. Cool. Let's kill everything off. Shut it down. Whoa, Jack. Wow. 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 That was a crazy landing, folks. That's my first time ever experiencing a deep dive landing as such. It wasn't centered. It wasn't perfectly centered. But folks, we brought this damn thing in. We brought her in heavy, strong, and hard. So that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Welcome to Kabul, folks. Welcome to Kabul Airport. We'll bring it here over here to the right over here. And we'll drop down the cargo section hall here. Let's shut off our let's shut off some of our lights as well too. Let's shut off our beacon. Let me see here. Let's shut this off here. Right there, shut that off. And let's get back into our cockpit here. Let's taxi over to our cargo area. Sweet, folks. Sweet. We did it. Brought her in. I would like to see, let's do a rewind on that landing. That was nuts. That was nuts. Yeah, I did a big risk on this one, folks, because I was just hoping that we wouldn't crash this damn thing as long as flight was coming into here for this mission. I knew we had to do a deep dive on our approach. We made that happen. We wasn't lined up in the middle, but damn, we got so many things going on. I don't have a co-pilot with me. I'm solo, so that could be my excuse. Folks, let's rewind the tape. Just at the approach area. Let's rewind the tape. Let's take a look at that rewind of that tape, and let's get some certain angles on that approach. That was crazy. Let's get some good angles on that approach there. I think that was pretty cool. But let's go ahead and check that. Let's get back into our aircraft here. Let's get our camera set so we can look at our approach here from different angles and take it from there. I think it's going to be a good one here, folks. Let's take a look at it. Download our files here for our airport. Camera files captured, and we are created. We're good. Okay, now we got all the files created, installed. Let's do some rewind. Let's get her up. Let's look at this landing, folks. All right, toggle the replay. Wow. Thanks, Porter. Thanks, Mike. Thanks. Really appreciate it. That was tough. I mean, that's not your average landing. I'm gonna tell you that damn much for sure. That was different. That was let's rewind it to right here, and let's play it, and let's get some different angles on this, folks. Let's get some different angles on this damn thing. All right. So she's all ready. Look at this. We're gonna get some angles on that hard descend. We're gonna get an angle from the runway on the approach, and we'll get a tower angle, and then we'll call it at that point, right? So that's literally our runway. Where's that? Right in here. You see me circling that, right? I'll tell you what. Let's fast forward a little bit here. Let's fast forward it. Let's fast forward it on our dip here, so we can see it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're about to wrap this up, folks. Well, let's go ahead and watch this here hard descend and turn. Here we go. So here's where I made that turn, right? And I think this is where I started dropping hard too on the altitude for that rapid descent. Let's see what happens here. I think so. Fast forward a little bit more. Fast forward. And there we go. See that nose dipping and those flaps came up? There we go. Now we get into business. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's 10,000 feet per minute right there on that dip, folks. Look at that. Woo! Look at that. Damn. Look at that. Hold on tight. That is a hard drop, boy. Damn. You don't experience this here type of drop on a regular aircraft. I'm gonna tell you that much. That is a hard. And it's turning at the same time too. You talking about G's? Cross that mountain cap right there, off the lip of that. Getting some speed management control in place with the flaps up. And we got her out of clouds quick. Look at that. Still descending hard. Look at this. That's still a hard descent, folks. Engines is on. The engines are just throttled down. Look at that. We've already went lower than that mountain just that fast. It's a hell of a descent. And now we're about to turn in for our runway. And this is when things really got nervous. The descent was one piece. Controlling that arrival was another, folks. Yeah, we're below the cap of that mountain already. And we're still coming down. You can see a little bit more on the rewind here, right? There's our airport right there. The cursor is. I think I'm leveling it off now so I can drop the speed, right? Because I need to slow this bad boy down right around here. This is right around here is where I started pulling back. I knew that our altitude was cut now, and I had to pull her up manually. Pull. Right here is where I pulled to hold it from going down any further. And Kabul, Afghanistan, folks. We came out the clouds on this one. Look at that. I mean, we were at, what, 22,000 feet, and we brought it down just that fast. Slowing it down still. I'm bringing my flaps out so I can get some airlift on her. Plan for this runway here. The aircraft gave me warning of stall, and which really got me nervous at that point. Here's our gear that came down. Okay, and I want to see. I know this wasn't centered landing, but hell, folks, we had that rapid descend to get down fast as hell as we did, and for me to line this up, just at least get on the runway. To me, I'm gonna give myself credit on that one. Hell, yeah, perfection would have been an absolute center, but we still got it on the damn runway. So take it for what it is, folks. Write a letter, complain, but I'm telling you, I did my part. And I'm still getting speed down here. Got my flaps down, as you see, so I can get some lift on the wings. At this point, I'm starting to try to figure out how to angle her up for the runway. I took it off of autopilot. I took it off of. I also had to get on our nav 1, so I can hit that glide slope. I captured it, but then I went ahead and took it manual. I just manually took control of everything. I think around this point here, I took over everything and just manually controlled it. And you can tell I manually took over at that point how wobbly it is, right? Get her down, get her down, get her down, get her down. There you go. There you go. And now let's get it from the angle, folks, so we can see front side, so I can see that touchdown. Then we rewind it and we'll get the runway view of the touchdown as well on our next rewind hit. Right there. Oh, hey, it bounced a little, but hell, we got it on there. Get these reverses going. Sweet, got our reverses on, got our flaps up, slow down. Wasn't centered, but oh well. Let's get a runway view of that. Let's get a runway view of that. Let's get a runway view of that here. Let me play it right about in here. Right around, good spot right here. All right. So let's pause it here so I can get those runways back here. Give me a second here. Let me get back into aircraft here. Pause it right there, and let's go ahead and select. 1 second here. Let's get back into our aircraft, and let me get our cameras back up. I wanted to see what that front view was on our approach here. So stand by. Let me get that up here real quick here. 1 second here. Okay, here we go. Got that, and it's right here, folks. Stand by. It's coming up. All right, and toggle control. Here it is. All right, so let me. Okay, where are we at? There it is, right there. Got it. Tangle this. Let's go ahead and hit play here, and let's just get it from here. Auto select. Okay, that's fine. No worries. Get her turned in. Get her in. Yeah, that was rough. That was rough right there. That was rough, folks. That was rough as hell. I honestly say, I did my best on that one. Let's see, where's our cameras at? I want to get our cameras set up here. Give me a second. One more view I want to see here. One more view coming up. 1 second here. We're getting it to kill some of these, close out some of the stuff I have up here so I can find what we're looking for. Cool, good. Close that. And I think we're almost nuts and bolts here. Let's close this, close that. Two more views I want to see, folks, before we depart here. Okay. So bring this here up here, and let's find out where our camera stuff is so we can capture that. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. All right, so let's bring in our runways again for our capture. Create cameras. Okay, create. Boom. All right, here we go. We're good now. Let's get back to where we were, and let's look at the rewind of the runway in itself. Okay. So rewind her back here. Rewind her back. Get her back. I want to see the front view of that capture, that landing. And then I'm going to get the tower view, and then we'll call it, folks. All right? So there's that approach there. Let's go ahead and hit play on that right there. Boom. And let's do that auto select on this. Wow, I was all over the place on this landing, folks. That sharp, hard descend from 21,000 feet to do a rapid descend of hitting 10,000 feet per minute on descend, folks. That was crazy. Look at that. Yep. Yeah, that a little bit way off to the right, but that's all good. We got it on the runway. Hell. Woo. Damn. Nice. Bring her down, bring her down, bring her down. C-17, folks. That's a bad booger right there. Look at that. Don't recommend holding on to it when it takes off, neither. I'm just saying, don't recommend holding on to this thing when it's on anywhere, period. Damn it. It's just, that's crazy. All right, let's, let me do a tower view, folks, and then we'll call it. Last view here. Last capture view we're going to capture right here from the tower, and then we'll call it that. All right around here. Let's call it from here. Let's hit our tower view. We'll zoom in on that. And Boom. Okay, that was cool. That was good. Well, it wasn't the best, but it is what it is. Again, folks, we did a rapid descent from 21,000 feet. We descended 10,000 feet per minute as a rapid descent for this runway into Kabul, to successfully bring it in to avoid any type of RPGs or anything like that on the aircraft, and brought her in. It's very steep down decline. Speed management was very had to be controlled. At speed management, brought her in. Wasn't centered on the runway, but we got her there. Folks, listen, please like and subscribe. Check it, yo. This was fun. This was good stuff here. This was good stuff. Appreciate everyone who attended and went on this humanitarian trip from Dubai to Kabul, just to help out where it's needed here. As this aircraft sits here on the tarmac, folks, one thing that we want to do is scoop up, pick up, and get the hell out, and do what we got to do as far as our mission. Folks, it was a pleasure. Again, please like and subscribe. We'll go ahead and call it from here. It was fun. This was enjoyable. So peace out, folks, and we'll catch next round, okay? Everyone take care and stay flying. We're out here.